Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. We are Millennial Mom. If you don't know who is who, I'm Millennial. This is Mom. Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. Now I haven't been here for this video, so I'm gonna let Mom take over the intro.
Today, we're going to talk about the season finale of Love After Lockup, Season 4, Episode 22, Red Flags. But before we begin, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave your comments down below. And don't forget about the membership link in the description. All right, so
before
yes.
you even start, because you never do this, you always just jump into the video. I thought this episode was not as poppin' as they try to make it seem like it was going to be.
Not as poppin'. Well, you watched some of the episodes, but not all the episodes because you had other obligations, like I told our subscribers.
Not poppin' like, it's all gonna be all this drama. Poppin' as in some of the storylines could have been wrapped up earlier, and it led to what made me think, like, was this really real?
So let's just go with Puppy and Amber. Amber's back at the house, okay? She took the pregnancy test. Just a reminder, she went out with Queen to go to the doctor to confirm that she was pregnant. So she's pregnant. Now she's at home waiting for TC. So TC comes in and she says, you know what? I got something to tell you. He's like, what? Now the pregnancy was the last thing he was thinking of because they just had a conversation about this last week when she was talking about it, what happened with Puppy. So she tells him that she's pregnant. And at first he's excited. He's like, okay, well, I need a minute. He gets up and gets a drink. And she's like, you okay? He's like, give me a minute. So when he finally sits down with his nerves calm, he's like, okay, so, what are we going to do about it? She's like, well, I want to keep the baby. But, see, she told him that she recently learned she has health issues. She has a liver condition. She just went to see her primary care, and her liver enzymes are high. So her having this baby or carrying it to term could be life or death for Amber. And TC is like, oh man, they're both like thinking, what are we gonna do? And so TC says he's gonna support Amber no matter what. I think that was nice of him to say, because not nice to say that the point of he was supportive from the beginning, because that's something that Amber needed to hear. So then Amber decides that she needs to go, after thought between her and TC that she said. She's now in the car with Queen and another friend of theirs. Amber has decided that she needs to get a procedure done. Amber hopes that maybe in the future she can have a baby, but like I said, she got to get her health stuff taken care of.
She can't have a baby in the future.
Why not?
She can't carry a baby.
Well, doctors don't know everything.
She's not hoping that she can have a baby. From what it seemed like to me, it seemed like she was upset because it's supposed to be a happy moment.
Yeah.
But she can't enjoy this happy moment. So right now, her tunnel vision is she can't have a baby because she can't carry the baby. Now, could she have a baby through somebody else in the future? Maybe, but that's not what she's thinking right now. She's very withdrawn.
She is withdrawn. And you know what? So when her and Queen and the driver, the friend, get to where they're going,
I thought that was Queen's man.
They learned that,
is that not Queen's man?
I don't know who it is. They learned that Amber may not be able to have the procedure done there because the new laws have taken place about having these types of procedures. Like some states can, some states can't. So as they stay in the room for the night, they find out that she's able to. So the very next day, she gets the procedure. But before she goes in, there's protesters out there.
Not even that. She calls TC.
Or he calls her, regardless, yeah.
She calls TC.
Right, for support.
FaceTime. And she just wants to know, like, how come he hasn't really been checking up on her? Like, she thought that he would because at first he was being supportive. And Queen was like, he said something along the lines of he doesn't really know how to handle this type of situation.
Right, his emotions. He's
and Queen
emotional.
was like, at least he's being honest. But Amber doesn't want to hear that. And I'm actually Team Amber with that, because when you're going through something like this, whether you know how to support someone or not support someone, that's still your partner, that you can still say something. Not just, completely blow them off till they come back. You know that's not what they need. I mean, that's clear to see.
Well, unfortunately, that's how TC moves. So Amber gets the procedure done, and she comes back to the hotel to rest, and has to go from there. She has some thinking to do about what happened, and she's trying to calm herself, but I don't know if she's really on that level just yet. The scene, it jumps to a scene with Puppy and Eric. They're at the park, and they're talking about the loss of their baby. And I just thought it was a nice scene with Puppy and Eric. It was nice because usually they have turmoil, and this time there was like a little bit low key. As they're talking, Puppy's saying to Eric, and Eric or whoever, vice versa, was asking how things, how they were feeling inside. Puppy says she's feeling empty and she's withdrawn. And Eric says, well, you know what? I understand that, but I don't know how to help you either with that because he's never gone through it. Well, she's never gone through it either. So it's almost the same as Amber and TC. Like, he don't know how to help her, but at least they're face to face to express it as well. Amber is now back at home, and Puppy happens to call Amber, right? Or did Amber call? But whichever way it worked, they meet up. Amber is looking just the way Puppy was when Puppy lost her baby. And so when Puppy came up, she's got flowers and gifts, and Puppy's the one that's always saying sorry to Amber and bring gifts to Amber. And Puppy says, hey girl, how you feeling? And Amber goes, I'm not really feeling too good. She goes, oh, I can see that. And so Amber is saying to Puppy, I got pregnant, I had to do what I had to do, and all that other stuff. And Puppy is much more understanding. And here's my thing, what I wrote in the notes. So now Amber can see what Puppy was going through and feeling when she had to go through that. I think the difference with Amber not having the same empathy at the time was because of the relationship of how Eric had did her. But either way, I wish Puppy and Amber the best on their journeys. So at the end of the scene, or this season, we learned that Puppy and Eric are thinking about getting married in 2023, and Eric's divorce is final. Amber and TC are still going strong, and she's hoping that they'll move in together soon.
Well, I guess we'll see them next season. Who is the next couple we're going to wrap up?
Chaz and Branwen. Chaz is still at that rental. He still calls himself trying to go home.
He's still having his flight delayed. I'm like, is he riding Spirit? Because like, how is his flight delayed all the time?
He was delayed when he was trying to get there, and he's delayed going back. Now, we won't necessarily put that airline out, like you said, in the streets, but I'm just curious to know where he's riding, because that just don't go together.
Where he's riding or who is he riding with?
But in the meantime, he receives a call from Tani. And not just a call, this time it's a FaceTime call. But we couldn't see Tani's face, it was blacked out, right? And so he's like, oh, hey, I'm glad we finally get to talk. Normally he's on regular message. So Tani just confirmed that, Bren was out in these streets. She's still prostituting herself.
Saying like it is.
And just doing her thing. And he's like...
And with Yola. Yola or Yola?
Yola.
Well, it's pretty much like YOLO because that's how he lives his life.
Oops. Right?
There's a little oops. That's true.
For Chaz? No, he thought he was going to settle down with Branwen.
No, YOLA.
Oh.
The new boo.
All right. So then when we see Branwen...
she is just too happy to be away from Chaz.
Isn't she, though?
She is.
She.
I've never seen her like this before. Now, it could be other things because clearly something is going on with Branwen. And, when she first came on this show, I was really, rooting for her because it really seemed like she wanted to change her life, especially for her daughter who she, presumably said that is following in her footsteps. So I really thought that she was actually going to change. Not saying that she's not going to change or never going to change.
Right.
It just wasn't going to be a change with Chaz, which I get, but why keep leading him on like that, because it's just a huge waste of time. We've seen people on the show before not get married but still trying to spread the time out to be on the show and get a check. That's something that she should have did, but she couldn't like that
because Chaz really wasn't her cup of tea. I mean, she said in episodes past
she could have did it because even though he did want to get married and look for another wife, I felt like if she wanted to slow down a little bit, he would have slowed down too.
I don't know. I think Chaz was looking for the next best thing, the next greatest. Depends on what website they met on. I think it probably was that adult website. Well, he saw her pictures and then found her in prison or something like that.
He knew what was up. He was trying to make a hoe into a housewife.
Well, he said he should look harder for those red flags.
And what else he said? It was funny in a sense of how he was saying it, but it really wasn't funny because I'm like, but you wanted her though, saying, you know, he could have got cheaper and better down the street. Just all these like rude comments to her. Funny in a sense, but he's hurt.
Yeah.
And that's who he wanted. So, Chaz, if you could say that about her, what could you say about you?
Exactly. Well, what he said was, you know, he's not going to give a good Yelp review. I said he got his nerve.
I know. I'm not going to give a good Yelp review on you, Chaz.
And then
I'm going to be with you.
And then he threw his phone in the river. But anyways, that was really about it.
Super dramatic. How you going to get home? Maybe he got his laptop or something.
I guess. That was about it really with this scene. We saw Branwyn and Yola meet up, and he told her that she was the best thing. He should, you know, hindsight is always 20/20. I should have been with you, and she ate that up, you know.
They don't need to be with each other, period, but
well,
they can't now.
Anyways, to wrap it up,
Yola's in jail. Branwyn was in jail. Now she's trying to get her life in order. And Chaz is moving on to wife number 6. That's not a shock.
No, not a shock at all. So Taylor and Chance.
Now, Taylor and Chance, see, I hate when they kind of split up these couples like for like scene, and then the scene extends like 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
Because they really could have wrapped them up a long time ago too. Because the only thing that they talked about was the baby shower, paternity test, sister leaving, and how is
getting married.
Chance spending all this money? Where's it come from?
Right.
Because I'm like, how do you get a plane to say it's a boy in the sky when they could have did like some smoke?
Well, you're jumping around, so.
But I'm just saying, like, that's how short the scene was.
Right.
To where it could have been wrapped up.
Yeah, so just the background of the scene is Chance put together a gender reveal party for her. But at the gender reveal,
Chance got the stuff and she put it together.
Yeah, she put it together at the park, but Chance, I thought he would invite like some of his friends and some of her friends, but it was Chance and Taylor, Taylor's girls, and her dad and her stepmom.
And his boss.
And Bobby. Boss. And Chance was saying like he spent a lot of money for this, and
he did.
He said it spent a couple of thousand, but a couple of thousand, when they got to the park, Bobby had to put up the decorations. I'm like, well, if you're not ready, like you spent a couple of thousand. I was thinking like, where is it?
It was a plane.
So then they're like, he's like, well, look up in the sky. It was a plane with one of those banners behind it to say what the gender was, and it's a boy, so they're having a boy. And I'm thinking, you spent your money on this versus the little platters and the little to-go little chips,
the little Lays, the dollar store Lays. I'm like, that's seen them before.
You should have went to a restaurant or something. But okay, that's what he spent his money on. And also before that, he gets a letter. It just happens to be in the mail. It's the paternity test. He goes
on the day of the baby shower.
On the day of the baby shower, he goes to read it by himself. But before that, Taylor's like, you know what? Don't tell anybody that we took a paternity test. I don't want to be embarrassed.
So, it's on TV.
So when he read the test to himself in the car, because they took separate cars, he's like, oh, I'm relieved. Then he told Taylor at the baby shower. And she's like, I told you. And I told you too, Chance. I wasn't even there.
It was just, it had to have been for a storyline. Because there's no way he really believed that.
Yeah, I mean, getting pregnant over an email? Come on, Chance.
Not getting pregnant. Well, you know, because she could have met up with him, but when did she have time? Because I feel like she don't got a job, so she's always there with the kids. Does he have a job? Or
no, I think she's an office manager somewhere, but still, she don't have time. And I'm not even sure if he's still in jail or not. I don't think that was ever rectified because Taylor's ex and Chance was in jail at the same time. I think Chance got out first, so he's probably still in jail. But anyways, we see Bobby show up, and she said she wasn't going to, but she did anyways because she knew that the dad was going to be there, and the dad and Bobby don't get along if you saw previous episodes, and if you didn't, Bobby was on drugs before. She got out of rehab, and the dad has a history of drugs as well, so he didn't take lightly to Bobby constantly being ODing, telling paramedics in the hospital next time she ODs it's just well. So they've never been on good footing ever since then. But she told everybody
I feel like it was before since then too.
Well, she told everybody she was going to Arizona today. She's leaving today and wanted to be see everyone before she left, and Taylor was upset, of course, because they're twins and she just wanted the best for Bobby. But again, she also mentioned last week too, and I think a little bit this week, she alluded to it, that she may be going to Arizona, but you know, her problems are going with her if she don't get them rectified. So we wish Bobby the best as well. And then to wrap them up, Taylor and Chance's baby is due in November 2023, and they also are still thinking about getting married next year.
But most importantly, Bobby is a CNA in Arizona. That's the best part. I don't care about Chance now.
Well,
Bobby's trying to change your life around for the better. So kudos to Bobby. Hope to see, well, maybe we'll see them next season. I don't know. Who's next?
Sean, Sarah, and Destiny. So we see both of Sean and Sarah. We also see Destiny with their babies.
If there's anyone new watching this review for Life After Lockup, Love After Lockup, whatever season we're on, I don't like Sean. Never have, never will.
Well, you know, Sean is, different.
He's just very not cool. He just gives me the heebie-jeebies every time.
Well, Sean is taking care of his newest baby, Adeline. He's up in the nursery.
His twin.
Yeah, baby looks just like him. Taking care of her. And next you know, his phone rings. The phone rings, not just a regular phone ring, just like with Chaz. He gets a FaceTime. And it's a FaceTime from Destiny. Why does Destiny still get to call your phone? Why isn't Destiny blocked? Why? You have no reason accepting these calls. So she's calling, you know why? She says, I need money. I just had my baby. I need money. I need money. I need money. Period. That's all Destiny cares about. She goes, I need 10 for that ring, 10 for the car, 10 from you.
Sarah's like, who are you talking to? Who is this?
Right.
And Destiny's like, you know who I am.
She's like, hey, it's Destiny.
He owe me money, and if he owe me money, you owe me money. I'm like, girl, get off the phone. And Sarah, I want to give props to Sarah because Sarah was not having that. She's like, I am the new one. He's not giving you nothing because it is our household, basically in a nutshell. And then she hangs up the FaceTime call.
No, before that, she said, Destiny was like, well, he owes me money. Sarah's like, he don't not give you nothing. I'm the one that takes care of his check. She goes, no, he's missing me money. She goes, you're pretty much, you lying. Because I know where every penny goes. And then Destiny says, well, something like, you're the sloppy seconds. And Sarah was like, why? Because I got out of jail 6 months before you?
So that's how you interpreted a FaceTime call versus how I interpreted it?
Yes.
I just feel like they're going back and forth with
They are, but everyone needs to, for those who don't watch reviews, that's what happened. But Sean is just standing back, like, with that dumb look on his face.
Like, I'm not going to say it. I'm going to be nice.
And he just always seems like, Sean, if you're watching or someone knows Sean, you just give me creep scrub vibes.
Not sorry.
And so when Sarah hangs up, she's like, so why is she calling you? There was nothing that Sean could say.
No, my part was when they hung up the phone, Destiny was like, well, Nanago has a plan.
Right, and went with her, baby.
You thought you were going to get some money. Like, Destiny, leave that man.
No, because I can see them in the next... Other season, not the one coming up on Friday, but the other one.
WeTV if I see Sean on
But you know what? I
again.
hate to say, as much as Sean causes the drama, Sean is for good TV.
Sean is not for good TV.
He is, because all the drama that he brings. But Sarah was saying, you know what? I thought I had to worry about Kelly at the wedding. It wasn't just Kelly, it was Destiny too. Sarah is stressed behind Sean.
And he's infamous for having 2 phones. So...
Anyways, to wrap them up, Sean and Sarah are still together, and Destiny is waiting for her money, and her newest baby dad won't be out of prison until 2025.
Who's next?
Kevin, Tiffany, and Kayla. So, Kevin is another manipulator. He's on his way to see Kayla because he hasn't heard from Tiffany in a while. She won't take his calls. We learned that Tiffany has moved on with someone named Thomas and is not going to be with Kevin at all. She just refused. She's like, why would I talk to him? Like, he doesn't tell me the truth. He never will, and that's just what it is.
He's a womanizer.
Yeah. When Kevin makes to Kayla's house, she just acts like all oblivious, like, why are you here? So he walks in as she normally does. Was she in some type of like lingerie, some skivvies or something?
No, looked like a regular top.
Well, Kevin's like, so what's up with that video that you sent from my phone? She's like, what video? You know, she's like, you know what I'm talking about. And so Kayla breaks down and says, well, what am I supposed to do? Like, I'm supposed to be like the main B. You always mess with these other women out here, putting me to the side. I've been down with you for 7 years. And then the backstory is, if you didn't hear about it before, that Kevin was in prison for 7 years, and that's how he met Kayla. But see, they brushed over that, though. We don't know why Kevin was in prison.
I know why. If you looked online, you know why.
Okay, we'll say.
Drug trafficking.
Oh.
But not like big drugs, like little ones.
Doesn't matter?
It got a little bit bigger. Well, yeah, because sometimes it could be for, pot. And, depending on how some people feel.
Right.
That's not a big crime.
Mm-hmm. Well, anyways, when Kevin got out of prison, either before he got out or right before he got out, something like that, she says that she admitted that she cheated on Kevin, and that kind of like broke up the relationship while he went one way and didn't really bring her back into the fold, except for maybe when he wanted something or needed her around for whatever reason.
Yeah, and I really think that's stupid of Kevin to always keep bringing it up to her. Like, if this is something that you just don't like about her, why are you still talking to her 7 years later? Why does she have to keep apologizing 7 years later?
Right.
And why does Kayla feel the need to keep doing that? Like, there's nobody else within these 7 years you could find? Nobody?
Well, she said she has an ex that she goes back and forth to as well.
Well,
so
she needs to start clean and find somebody else, because that's just too much. Always stalking somebody, always on the video calling other people bees and stuff. Like, where do you think you're actually going to go with this? Because, yeah, you might, not spoiler, but jumping ahead a little bit, they said they're going to be together now. So, yeah, you got your man, but, like, what are you going to have to do to keep your man? Are you going to have to initiate a threesome? Because Lord knows she cannot do a threesome. If she over here fighting people, she's going to fight him and her when they start getting a little bit too intimate. So, it's not going to work out. Like, that whole situation is just not going to work out. They both need to start clean. And maybe he needed to be polygamous or something, because he clearly wants multiple people and she only wants one person.
Well, Kevin's asking her, why are you always so aggressive and argumentative with me? Like, you just need to chill. You just need to chill. But I don't think Kayla understands that, since, because her and Kevin aren't committed, she wants the commitment that she's not getting from Kevin. That's the issue.
And she shouldn't be with someone who always brings that out of her. You should be with someone who brings calmness in your life. So once again, another red flag, but she obviously likes the red flags.
She does. And then she always says, I hate you. I this, I that. That's her thing. That's her cue to be like, let's go to the bedroom. So,
That's not cute.
That is for them.
That's just something that she does, and he likes that. He likes when they're like angry with him and mad at him.
That's a cue for them. That's their cue to, okay, well, this is how we're going to resolve this, because she has done it in several scenes before, episodes. But to wrap it up, like you said, they're still together, and Tiffany has moved on. They don't even speak anymore.
Good. Tiffany just stayed there because she needed a place to stay temporarily.
So next up is Brittany and Ray. Today is their wedding day. They're getting married and they're getting glammed up. I know, but they're getting married, they're getting glammed up and everything. But one thing I have to say, Ray was sharp in his outfit.
Was he sharp, or like I saw on Twitter, someone said he looked like Master P from Mega Sing?
No.
I'm not gonna lie. Before someone even said that, I was kind of thinking that in my brain. I didn't think he looked like, he wasn't not well dressed. It just wasn't for me.
Well, he was wearing all white. He had his little shades on or whatever. And I'm sure that Brittany picked out his outfit because she did the whole wedding. Because he said it was going to be like the Met Gala, the upscale Met Gala. Yeah. And that's where Brittany's mind is. She wants everything, like, in her words, high class and higher up echelon.
But this is my opinion. This might not be your opinion or anyone else's opinion. If she did all that for the wedding, and was or is so concerned about his restitution that he has to pay off, how come she just didn't, since that's her man for the rest of her life,
right?
She wants, how come she didn't help him pay it off with that money and then do the high scale wedding later on?
Because she's ready to get married now. She says she's getting up age. I think she's like into her mid to late 30s, so she wants to get married, have a baby before she gets older, because she said last season that she want to have those babies back to back, so that's why she want to do it this way.
I feel like she's setting them, they essentially are setting themselves up for something that's not good, because if he still has to pay that back, that's still money that's gonna come out of your pockets for the babies that you want, the house that you want, and all the other stuff.
She's not thinking about it like that. But I thought, they look nice. I thought I think she said she's gonna have 3 dresses. We only saw one. This first dress, I didn't necessarily care for it on Brittany, but it was nice. It just wasn't something that I would have saw her, thought she would have been like more crystals and things like that. But maybe it's other dresses we didn't see. And to wrap them up, is they're still together and working on those babies. All right, so let's move to, you want to do Deonte and Lindsay or Brittany and Marcelino?
Let's do Deonte and Lindsay, because that once again was NOTHING.
Well, so for whatever reason, Lindsay's going to, it looked like at first Deonte's mother's house.
It did. They tried to get us.
I don't know where it was. If it was mother's house, she wasn't there. She wasn't in the scene. But he didn't necessarily look like he was at home either at his place. I don't know where he was. But
Maybe he was at an Airbnb.
Maybe. So she's driving. Well, she's in the car with Blaine driving her there. I'm like, you couldn't Uber to where he was? Because that was a problem by itself.
Why was it a problem? She's not trying to be with Deonte. She's with Blaine. So she's going to have her.
That could have been drama. Yeah, I guess.
Of course it is.
So she gets to where Deonte is. She goes in the house and she's saying, here, I want to give you back this. So she brought back the laptop that he got her. And he's like, no, I want you to keep it because it was something that you need and, to forward your life to get you back on track. She's like, no, but he insisted.
That's very nice.
And then they end up hugging it out or whatever. She's like, you know what, I really didn't mean any harm, this and that. And
while Blaine's at the car like,
right, waiting on you, girl. And so
trying to prove a point. I mean, if that's how Blaine likes his women like that, then let them live their life happily. Clearly, Deonte likes his women like that because he didn't want the woman that his mom introduced him to.
Well, again, you're jumping around, but so then there's a quick scene of whether the next day or same day of Lindsay and Blaine and Miley Grace, they're out fishing. They're having a day of it. And Miley Grace does ask Lindsay, so where's Deonte? What happened to him? She's like, well, it didn't work out. At least she's telling Miley Grace positive things about Deonte. She goes, but my focus is to be a mom to you. And so that's how that conversation went. And then we see Deonte at his mother's house. And I think they need to, well, no. I was going to say they need to spin off a show, but no, because that means he'd have to be with another prisoner. So no.
No, we don't want to see him on a
I'm just saying. So his mom, is asking him, what's going on. He said he's down because love don't love me, is not for me, whatever he's saying about love.
He's picking the wrong ones, and if you keep one of the ones in the prison, you need to trick a little harder, Deonte.
No, not tricking. He just don't need to stop looking there.
No, if he wants to keep them, he needs to be spending more money.
No,
because obviously not spending enough money.
No,
yes.
that's not it.
But it is.
No. But his mom said, you know what? Karma is a bee, and she's gonna get hers. But to me, Deonte's gonna get his too because you keep messing with those prison bays. And his mom said that too. She's something to the fact that if you keep doing the same things, you're gonna keep getting the same results. And then there's a knock on the door. It's the daughter of a lady that Deonte's mother works with that she's introducing Deonte to. But here's my thing: like, why? He just got a relationship with Lindsay.
Because the mom wants to show Deonte that you can have somebody else. It doesn't have to be someone in prison. And his mama knows his type.
Yeah, but I'm sure that she knows that already. But I mean, okay.
It's just an option. That's like me, for example. If I keep messing with these prison dudes over and over again.
Which you're not, hypothetically.
Right. And then, somebody, for example, somebody that they have a underage, you're kind of going to be like, you know what, let me show her something else. You're trying to be a good mom.
Yeah, but he's dated women that wasn't in prison before. Remember, we were introduced to somebody last season, so he knows what the difference is.
No, he didn't date. He just talked to her, and that was about it.
Still, he knows what the difference is. You're either in prison or you're not. So, all right. So, and to wrap that up, Lindsay and Deonte, it says they're still in contact from time to time. That's what it said.
He still contact her.
It doesn't matter who. If she's answered the phone, they're still in contact. To wrap it up, we have Brittany and Marcelino. And you know what? I was disappointed in a way of how this worked out with them. Because Marcelino finally came home.
Before you even go into it, Why were you disappointed?
Because they stretched this whole argument and everything out to the final season finale when it could have wrapped up weeks ago. Well, Marcelino finally made it home after being out, and Brittany called his phone talking about, where are you? How could you? Why would you? So when he makes it inside, Brittany is just sitting calmly on the sofa, and I'm like, wow, at least she's calm for now.
Hold on. Are you trying to tell me, since the last time I saw him out driving, he's been driving this whole time?
The whole time.
That's actually kind of funny, because they really wasted your time.
It's not just me. They wasted all of it. They dragged this out to the whole team. So Brittany is calmly sitting on the sofa. Well, she looks calm. And so he walks in. He's like, so what's up, Brittany? What's going on? Boom. Here comes the ballistics. You didn't call. You've been dealing with prostitutes. You've been on adult websites. You've been XYZ.
She just wants him to tell her the truth. And he's just like, I don't know what you want me to say. You know, I want to apologize. But he doesn't really apologize for anything in a sense. He just knows he has to. And then she's just like, but I already know what you're doing. So are you going to own up to what you're doing, or are you not going to?
Right.
And he's like, I don't know what that is. I don't know what to tell you.
Right.
So she just go get some trash bags and like, here, get your stuff with the trash bags. He's like, I don't need any trash bags. I got my own bags. So she goes upstairs and she's trying to pack everything up and she's starting to cry. But this is what tipped me off in the beginning of the episode.
But don't spoil it. Don't skip around and tell it at the end.
But I'm going to tell, I'm not, because I'm going to leave it like you did. When I saw her cry, and I didn't see no tears or nothing.
There were no tears.
I was like, let me go on the Twitter space.
Maybe she's cried out.
I was like, let me go on the Twitter space, because I know somebody spoiled it already. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, well, the ending, I was like, I am not surprised. But I didn't tell Mom. I let Mom watch the whole thing until the end.
Right. Well, she throws Marcelino out the house after all that.
Well, no, he just left. She was throwing the stuff in the bag. He's
well,
like,
there's no reason to right. So,
is she still going home?
If someone has your bags and packing them for you and throwing them across, you tell them to get out, don't come back, get out of my house. That's throwing you out, regardless if he left or not. That's throwing you out. So he get back in the car, he's driving, no telling to where. So it's 1 month later. I thought it was like a sign with her, like in her real estate thing, but no.
The for sale sign?
Yeah, the for sale sign. So it's her house. She's packing the stuff up. She got the kids in the kitchen while she's, put stuff up, talk about she's moving to Florida. She's relocating her life. She's had enough of Vegas. She's, did everything here from being homeless to real estate.
She went through a lot here. Like
she did.
But she came up though. But, also what tipped me off, she was like, yeah, his mom is in Florida. My mom and my sister are moving to Florida.
Well, his mom being in Florida didn't tip me off. I'm like, well, maybe that's help. If you, whatever. She said she got a real estate license there.
I don't know. If I'm moving away to start fresh with someone else, not with the person I'm with, I'm not really going to mention them all. I'm not going to say they have to have beef or animosity.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say, I'm taking my mom and my sister to Florida.
Right.
That's what I'm going to say.
And so then we see Marcelino. He's at a casino at the state line, probably about 45 minutes away, state line of California and Nevada. It's called Prim. And he's walking in and, did he get on the phone or he just got a drink at the bar? Like, what was he doing?
Well, he's staying there.
I know, but, he didn't really say anything too much, so I guess we showed, where he was.
He basically said, it kind of sucks because he can't be with his family.
Yeah.
So he's kind of sad about that.
But that wasn't confessional, right? Confessional.
But basically, that's what his whole scene was about. He's sad because he can't be with his family right now, because his family is breaking apart. But were they really breaking apart?
But you know what? To wrap them up,
were they breaking apart?
It said that Brittany and Marcelino have decided to go to Florida together. After all that, I couldn't stand working it out. But when Brittany was saying there's nothing he could say to make her change her mind, well, somebody did or said something, and they moved together.
Did or said something, or was it real? That's where I'm leaning towards, because it seems like we're going to be seeing the next season and seeing how they repaired their relationship.
Season after next, yeah.
Yeah, how they repaired their relationship and how they came back together.
Well, that was the end of this season of Love After Lockup.
So I wasn't here for the season, so tell me, Mom, how did you feel about the whole season in general?
I think this season was kind of like a filler before this coming Friday's new episode, so stay tuned for that. Because it was a lot of Brittany and Marcelino, Brittany and Ray, have been on before, so their stories were really continuation stories. Mm-hmm. And then the other ones, like Chaz, didn't really bring anything. I think he pretty much received what he put out. And Taylor and Chance, I don't know. Kevin and Tiffany, right. So that was the season.
Go.
Yeah. And Puppy and Amber was also continuation of their thing. So we had 3 out the 6 people that was continuation of the season. So that's really how it went. But I'm looking forward to this season. It's new people. We have only one person returning from last year who hopefully will wrap up because she was on another thing. Too. And we'll go from there.
Yep. Well, let us know what you guys thought about this episode or the season in comments down below. Thank you all so much for watching.
And as always, live simply, be grateful.